Aloha, cupcakes! It's time to try out the Wizard Vortex. Now, everything that I put in this video, I'm going to put the links down below so you can get one for yourself. And there's also a link where you can get a new super nifty hat like this. Yes, that was my middle finger. Don't report it. It was just, that's always pointing. I was holding a thing here. Anyways, let's do some scrolling, shall we? So check out this brush. It's it's a scrolling brush. Now I've had this one for quite a while. This is actually like the third or fourth one of these that I've had, and it's a little bit shorter than the Black Widow, and then the handle's a lot longer, and it's got a little bit of a bulbous shape to it. So if you saw the video on the Typhoon, it's almost identical to the Typhoon. It's just the hair on this one's a little bit coarser, and this is the newer of the three that I have here. And yeah, this one's still a little bit rough. They've been sitting in a drawer for a very long time. Basically, ever since I started using other brushes, these ones have been on hold. Now I'm just using Alpha 6's Sanguine color, which is like a really deep red. I didn't really reduce this very much, and I'm immediately regretting that, especially when I'm doing this on palette paper, because it's just sticking. So let's reduce this a little bit. Let's reduce this a lot of it, actually. I'll finish this one, but then we're going to have to really reduce this, because it's definitely sticking to the paper a bit while I'm pulling. So, reduce. Add some happy juice. Because you do need to be using paint that is a bit more reduced than you would for regular pinstriping. And I'm just going to do a couple of... Well, here, let's just try something. And my first fatty line is okay. And let's see if we can just not. Yeah, that's a little... Okay. I'm still getting a little stickiness going on there. That's not quite how we want this. But that is me not mixing the chemicals right, because I think I'm sitting at like 12% humidity at the moment, and it's like about 85 degrees in here, and I really just want to kind of get done with this one. It's nothing personal. It's not that I don't want to do these videos for you guys, but sometimes it gets hot in here. That, and the sooner I get the rest of these wizard striping brushes, because this is the last one, then we can start working with the lettering brushes, and I'm kind of excited about it. I just wanted to make sure I've gone through all of the wizard brushes before I started playing around with the lettering brushes. Just because I have them. They're sitting here in a drawer. Anyhow, this is this is not working. It is not the brush's fault. It's me mixing the chemicals right. It is too hot for me to be doing this in here, and yeah. So I'm gonna try here. We're just gonna add a little bit extra. We're gonna go super wet with this one. Okay, that's better. Well, I guess it's better until it's not. It's still too dry. I'm gonna have to take a break here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the swamp cooler for a while. I'm going to get my humidity up, and then we're going to mix some fresh paint, because yeah, this is not working, and it's kind of gritty feeling, and it's definitely grabbing to the paper. And I know I have panels. I just don't. I prefer using the paper for the videos just because there's no glare. Maybe we need to start using that black paper. I don't know. Anyhow, here we've reloaded. At this point, I've added actual like flow enhancer and hardener to the paint just because I made sure I had all the things in it. But this is the brush freshened up, and it's a little bit better. It's still kind of bitey, and it's still kind of gripping to the paper here a bit. Yeah, what can I do about this? Oh, my humidity is only 23%. All right, I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. I'm just going to let this sit for a minute, get the humidity up, and then we'll try again. All right, we're back. This is a little more humid. I think we're at 27%. My temperature's dropped a little bit now, so it's a little bit cooler. And then the paint was just dry enough I was able to like go wipe this thing down. So let's see. I'm just going to do a couple tests here. Now I like the way that this one pulls right here. Like this right here. Like this is Okay. So when the paint's good and flowing really well, I like the way that this brush handles because I'm not having to twist it while I'm doing this. So you can kind of just run wild with it. Kind of like that. Just took a few tries. Had to mess with some stuff. So here, let's start a fresh set. We're just going to go down here. I did add a little extra reducer between this because, well, I want a fresh reducer. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay. So yeah, when I dip it down, and let's see how well it pulls back out of this. I know typically you want to try to like twist the brush so that it doesn't flare out on you when you do this. I am trying to see how far I could push this thing without doing that. I know a couple of the other videos people have noticed that I don't twist the scrolling brushes very much. That's partially because I'm trying to see how far I can push these suckers. Now I just really loaded this one because I want to pull one of these thick to skinny little accent lines here. Ooh, this one pulls it really well. I like this. And it tapers off really cleanly. I like that. That was good. Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple more of those. Let's just see if that was a thing. We'll just start one over here. It's fine. Oh no, this one, same thing. Okay, I like that. So really good clean pull, transition from like a very heavy line to a very thin line, and it was just clean. I like that. Not a lot of bitiness to it anymore now that we've got some humidity. Yeah, that was pretty clean. Let's just mess some stuff up here. Let's thicken things up and oops. Maybe I should stabilize my wrist a little bit better, but hey, you know, trying to pull some thinner lines now because now we've got a little bit of control and the brush is actually flowing. Ooh, that one. This thing holds paint for freaking days. Oops. It doesn't help my hand slips. Okay, so don't let your hand slip. That I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? We could do like a really thick one here. Let's clean that one up a little bit. Here, we'll just fatten this up. Just see y'all better. Easy peasy. Okay. So I do like the Typhoon better than I think I like this brush. This one is not as soft of brush hair as the Typhoon because that one is in fact a Kazan squirrel. Whereas this is just our regular standard, are they blue squirrels, gray squirrels? You know what, I'm not 100% sure on this one. I'm at the look. I think this one's just the standard blue squirrels, which are the less coarse of the standard squirrel hairs, and the Kazan squirrels are like the softer of. But yeah, I think this brush is just fine. I may have to include this one back into my set of things to play with when I'm doing stuff like this, because this I'm genuinely now that I've got it under control. Like this set of scrolls here, I kind of like the way that this looks. So yeah, this is a fun brush. I'm definitely more comfortable with this longer handle than I am with the shorter one because I don't feel like my thumb is starting to cramp up. So took a little practice, took a little work. I think that this is we'll be keeping this one around. Well, I may get a fresh one and see how that one goes, but so I think this one's probably about 9 years old now. Anyhow. So, Wizard, the Vortex. I've had this brush a long time. It was a lot of fun back in the day, and it still is. Just, I had to get a little used to it. I had to do a little practice work before I get this one to do what it needed to do. Still a great brush, though. And if I'm being totally honest, this was a lot of fun. I really like this one. So, merch links in bio. Until the next video, stay moist, my friends.